What do we want for our children? I think it's fair to say that Americans want similar things. We want them to have happy childhoods, receive a good education, get good jobs, and live out their dreams. We want them to grow up with a strong sense of who we are as a people and the ties that bind us together as a nation. That story begins at home, but a large chunk of it is written at school. We've got a lot riding on the educational establishment. The learning and formation our children receive at every level of their education sets them on a path that can determine what kind of jobs they will get, and what kind of lives they'll lead, and what kind of citizens they'll become. That will determine what kind of country we all will live in. So it's crucial that we examine federal education policy at every level. Let's focus on making higher education more accessible to more Americans and more affordable. New technologies need to play a role in accessibility. More colleges and universities are expanding their online course offerings and credit by exam options to accommodate more non-traditional students. The federal government should encourage the development of demanding, rigorous online courses in appropriate subjects. It's no secret that college costs are skyrocketing. What is a secret is why these costs keep going up. It's only fair that the students and families paying the bills know how their tuition and fees are spent. That's why we should require any college that accepts federal funds to make their budget details available online. That way, students and parents are finally empowered with the transparency they deserve, and administrators are held accountable for their spending decisions. Community colleges are a great and affordable option for associate degrees, vocational training, and continuing education. We should be encouraging community colleges and state universities to expand their offerings and provide 4-year, $10,000 degrees so we can make higher education more accessible to more Americans. Freshmen often start college with tuition at one price level. 4 years later, the price has gone up, often substantially. Surprise fees, such as activity fees, as well as the cost of textbooks, significantly add to the total cost of college. Schools should be encouraged to offer competitive, all-inclusive pricing, guaranteed for all 4 years. We also need to do more to help students reach their goal of successfully completing their education. At more than 500 colleges and universities, students are more likely to default on their student loans than to graduate. When it comes to the success of their students, colleges and universities that accept federal grants and subsidized loans should be held accountable. We need to put them on notice. They need to do more to help their students, or we will block their access to federal grants and subsidized loans. College is expensive, and of course we want to help students with their college tuition, but it seems like the more federal aid colleges and universities get, the more the prices go up. Too often, taxpayer funds intended to help students obtain higher education instead end up supporting an ever-growing bureaucracy of college administrators who, in turn, raise tuition in order to fund their own salaries and pet projects. We need to lift the curtain on the causes of tuition inflation and encourage colleges and universities to do a better job of controlling costs and directing resources to the education of their students. We need to have an honest conversation about the role of federal aid and tax incentives in driving up tuition prices. Instead of asking taxpayers to pay higher taxes to fund increased federal aid, students should be asking their college administrations, why are my tuition rates going up so much? Families have enough to worry about as they budget for higher education costs. The IRS, for example, shouldn't be making things even more complicated. We should replace the current complex and burdensome web of higher education tax credits with a single, simpler provision to assist eligible students and families, whether they are pursuing skills training or a university degree. Education is so important for every American, for upward mobility, for quality of life, for participation in civic and social life. America is a land rich with opportunity for anyone willing to work for it. Our discussions about education policy should transcend politics and special interests and focus on giving our children and young people the tools they need to seize those opportunities. The strength of our nation and our people depends on it.